How to paint the Deathwing.
Hi, welcome to Nereal Miniatures. In this video I'm going to show you how to paint a Deathwing Terminator. We start off by priming our mini with white Scar. We then start with a mixture of Skeleton Horde and Contrast Medium. 1 part Skeleton Horde, 2 parts Contrast Medium. We paint this all over the model, so don't worry about painting over other parts. In the next step, we edge highlight the model by using the heavy dry brush technique and white Scar. Before we start fixing the power armor of our model, we make sure to paint the armor joints of the model, and we use black Templar contrast paint for that. Now we start fixing all the mistakes on our power armor, the chalky parts, the coffee stains from the Skeleton Horde, and also the parts where we painted over the model with black contrast paint. We start fixing our power armor by using pure Screaming Skull. Now we want to fix all the coffee stains and chalky parts on the power armor. Therefore, we use a mixture of 1 part Screaming Skull and 4 parts Lahmian Medium. Make sure that you don't glaze over the edges of the model, otherwise it would ruin the highlights we've created with the dry brushing. Now our bone armor is finished and we can start applying all the base colors to the model. We start with the first base color, which is Khorne Red. We apply this to the chapter symbol on the shoulder pad, to the eye lenses, and also to the weapon case. In the next step, we use Caliban Green for the chest piece. We use Administratum Grey for the detailed parts on the left shoulder pad and also on the left knee. Now it's time to paint all the metallic parts on the power armor, and therefore we use Leadbelcher. Now we give all the laid down base colors a wash of Nuln Oil. For the feathers on the weapon case, we use black Templar contrast paint. In the next step, we start painting the purity seals, and for the seals we use Screamer Pink. For the paper parts of the purity seals, we use Dawnstone as a foundation. Now we need to lay down another base color, and we use Dragon's Gold by 2 thin coats for that. If you don't own this color, you can use Retributor Armor. The next step is totally optional and you don't need to do that, but I wanted to paint some decorations on the power fist of my Terminator, and as you can see, I split the power fist into two halves and painted one part with Khorne Red. I did the same with the right knee pad of the Terminator. To fix all the mistakes we've made, we use Pure Screaming Skull. In the next step, we use Evil Sunz Scarlet to paint over the Khorne Red parts on the power fist and also on the right knee pad. We also apply Evil Sunz Scarlet to 1/3 of the eye lenses to give them a first highlight. The second highlight is Wild Rider Red, which we apply in the front parts of the eye lenses. Our last highlight is Fire Dragon Bright, which we dot in the front part of the eye lenses. The last thing we need to do is to dot White Scar in the darkest parts of the eye lenses. In the next step, we focus on highlighting the chapter symbol, and we use Evil Sunz Scarlet as a first highlight. Make sure that you have a good tip on your brush and go along all the lines of the symbol. Our second highlight is Wild Rider Red, and we focus this color on the edges of the chapter symbol. Our last highlight is a dot highlight of Fire Dragon Bright. We use the same color range of Evil Sunz Scarlet, Wild Rider Red and Fire Dragon Bright to highlight the weapon case. In the next part, we need to highlight the chest piece on the power armor of the Terminator, and we start with Warpstone Glow. For our second highlight, I mix Ice Yellow into the Warpstone Glow because it has a colder finish than Mood Green, but if you want to, you can totally use Mood Green. Now we need to highlight all the grey parts on the armor, and as a first highlight we use Administratum Grey again. We also use Administratum Grey as a first highlight for the paper parts on this shield, but also for the paper parts on the purity seals. Our second highlight for these grey parts is Grey Seer, and we use Grey Seer on the most extreme edges. For highlighting our purity seal, we mix a bit of ice yellow into the Screamer pink. And also as a second highlight, we just add a little bit more ice yellow until you're happy with the result. For highlighting all the metallic parts of the model, we use Chrome Model Air by Vallejo. For the writings on the purity seals, we create a very heavy glaze of Rhinox Hide. You really need to thin this down heavily and just use the tip of your brush to write down some lines on the purity seals. For highlighting our gold parts, we use two thin coats Glistening Gold for that. If you don't own Glistening Gold, you can totally use Liberator Gold. Off camera, I applied all the decals and now our model is finished. The only thing left now is to do the weathering. We start off by using pure Screaming Skull to create some scratches on the Power Fist. Now we take one of these yellow sponges and cut out a bigger piece of it. We rip out little pieces of the sponge to create an uneven surface. Then we take some tweezers and get some Rhinox Hide onto it. Make sure that you get off most of the paint and then apply it to the model carefully. You can take your battle damage to the next level by applying some Rhinox Hide with thin scratches to the armor. To create the illusion of depth, underline your Rhinox Hide scratches with white scar. Our model is now finished and applied to its base. I hope that you've liked the video. Make sure to subscribe and like the video, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!